or leadership opportunities within the schools to be able to think critically, use their problem solving techniques, and design and conceptualize thinking of of problems that they may receive some data analytics on, or evaluating different information systems. And so with that, they also have to keep in mind the social emotional learning of the child and their personal feelings and their social interactions. And so they want the students to become self-aware, have self-management, and this kind of relates to citizenship. I remember some of the elementary schools were implementing, like the Good Citizenship Award, because we know that no matter what we instill in them, if they're not self-aware and they can't manage themselves and they're not disciplined, all of that goes out of the window. And so they're looking at partners to help them nurture these children and looking at the whole student and helping them make responsible decisions as far as their education is concerned. And some of the other things that they want to look for is they want to make sure that they're very supportive of their principals, and they have highly effective teachers within the classrooms, and we know that that's a much debated topic. And also providing professional development and professional learning that's going to enhance the curriculum in which they serve. And on the New Heights Show for Education and the New Heights Educational Group, I developed the World Knowledge Curriculum, and it sounds so very similar to what Ohio has put together. And it's a framework. It's a framework just like your strategic plan is. It's a framework for and a guide to try to help the student and the environment that we're in now. How are they going to succeed? Because remember, these are our future leaders, these are our future educators, and these are the students that are going to take our country forward. And so what we instill in them from day to day is going to impact not only their lives but our lives in the future. So we have to also keep that in mind. And another thing they want to look at is they want to look at assessing through various assessments that go beyond the mastery of the standardized tests, which I also find very commendable, because we know that standardized tests also have varying factors out there, and some people are proponents of standardized tests because it at least gives us a baseline of where the student is, and some people only use it for a measure of what is the student's potential for the future. But we know that there have been flaws there in the past, but they don't want to use that as their only base assessment. They want to look at what was the student's performance like before, and then looking at the data, how can we enhance the student using this data, but not overloading their teachers with so much. And I like that they caution using data collection and emphasizing the privacy aspect and making sure that they maintain the student's privacy. And they also recognize that this could be an unnecessary burden on the teachers, so they don't want to do that. But they do want to use the traditional measures of proficiency, such as your exams in school and some of the assessments that the students are already taking, and using that as their data set to see kind of how they can improve the students' outcome. And with the partnership efforts and through working with business leaders and philanthropists and working through the strategic strategies and making the students more successful and looking at what is their future going to be like after graduation is also a part of their strategic plan. So they use the partnership based approach. They also emphasize support services that are more than just being compliant. They actually want to develop relationships with their strategic partners. to make sure that this strategic plan is very successful. And they acknowledge that one size does not fit all. Every school, one size does not fit all. And so they plan to embrace the idea of, we know that we're going to have to tweak our strategic plan so that it's going to be the best fit for a particular school. So things may not look the same, but they have the same goals in mind. And thinking about how are they going to engage the state level partners and the governors and state legislature to influence policy. And that's another thing that I think I briefly mentioned regarding my work with TRIO. The experience that I gained through working with that program is invaluable, because one of the other things that we did was we did advocacy. Of course, we had to take our personal time in order to do that. But advocacy is very important, not only on the local level. Yes, you want your school board and your commissioners and your mayor and your governor to know exactly what you're doing in your school system, how your students are achieving the things that they're achieving with maybe little to no means and funding for that particular school. But you also want them to know the policies that they're making, how they directly impact your students. And so if you ever have an opportunity to take your students to a school board meeting or a county city council meeting, to just let them see what that process is like and how it is going to influence their lives, it could be very instrumental. Because when I went to Washington to talk on the Hill to our congressional leaders about what the impact of TRIO has, how TRIO has impacted the students' lives that I work with, I can say that, but it really is more meaningful when you take students there and they actually hear that from the actual student. I'm a low income first generation college student. My parents had no idea of what college was like or how we were going to make ends meet. But now through the TRIO program, or now through the Ohio strategic plan, I had a teacher, I had an administrator, I had my principal or my aide pour into me and show me that there is a better life out there. And this is a pathway. If you don't like this pathway, why don't we try another pathway? But at least they gave them options. And so when legislators and governors um, and your congressmen hear from your students, whether it's through a letter writing campaign or whether you actually take your students to Washington or to your local or state board meetings, um, it's important for them to see that the work that they're doing in the community has truly touched the lives or affected the lives of the child in a positive or negative way. Regardless of what that is, the information is still valuable, because if you don't know how things are being impacted, if you're only looking at data and you're not looking at the human experience, then I personally feel like we're missing something. Because we can look at data sheets all day, and yes, it does give us a framework. But as Ohio has said, each child, our future. We have to look at the whole student. And so I encourage our listeners out there, um, if you're not in the Ohio area, and we know that the New Heights Educational Group is in Defiance, Ohio, take some time and go to your local school board's um, website and look at the strategic plan and see how can you be a partner to help your school system and to help your children become better students. So I hope that you have gleaned some kind of information, and I want to thank you to all my listeners out there. I greatly appreciate you. I'm so grateful. The next time we will meet, it will be New Year's Eve. So I am definitely looking forward to seeing you all, or talking with you all again on New Year's Eve. Also, remember my fellow host, Erica Henson. Airs live on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is again my fellow host, Erica Henson, airs live on Thursdays. And remember that the New Heights Show on Education hosts my show every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And next week, our topic will be on educational resources.
Here are your announcements for the month of December. Happy birthday to the following people: Priya Kedharnath, Heather Ruggiero on December 3rd, Geetha Lingasamy on December 4th, Lindsay Clark December 5th, Roberta Perkins on December 19th, Erica Hansen on December 20th, Tanushri Tawari on December 25th, and happy anniversary to Michelle Shockey and Shannon Williamson on December 17th. Other exciting updates from the New Heights Educational Group includes the following. And please don't forget to donate to the New Heights Educational Group this holiday season. You can also visit our website and click on Amazon Smile when shopping on Amazon. That way NHEG receives a portion of the sales. A thought for you is also we have had over 327,000 listeners for our radio show. If each of those people donated $1, that would help New Heights Educational Group tremendously with reaching those that need services. The New Heights Educational Group will be launching a new site for their New Heights Show on Education very soon. It has never been easier to listen to our shows. Check them out now. The new site is brought to you by Silicon Valley High School. You can also visit our discounted and free online courses to view the newly added courses for us and Silicon Valley High School. Anyone at any age can earn their diploma through Silicon Valley High School. You will really want to check out their $95 courses. We also want to announce a new partnership with Buffie Williams, who's also a host of one of our shows. Her books can be found on our recommended books page on the Learning Annex, and you will also see her books added to some of our curriculum, like the genealogy course that's on our site. We want to give a special thank you to Senator Sherrod Brown for his recent recognition. We really appreciate your thoughtful certificate from the United States Senate. Thank you also to Walmart of Defiance and Walmart of Napoleon. They both sent us a check for $500. We couldn't do what we do without support of businesses like Walmart that appreciate our educational efforts. If you like what you hear on our show, please consider sponsoring it. There are only 2 more spots available for sponsors. Everyone here at NHEG wants to wish you and your family a happy and safe holiday season. Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas. See you next month.
Right now, you might be struggling through your classes or even failing them. You might be worried that you may not finish high school. There might have even been a thought that you may not be smart enough. Well, the New Heights Educational Group begs to differ. We not only think you are smart enough, but with our help, you will complete your high school diploma. The New Heights Educational Group strives to improve your academic success through its tutoring services. To learn more, please visit newheightseducation.org and contact us. New Heights Educational Group, educational resources to help reach your goals.
We hope that you join us next week.
That's our time, and you have been listening to the New Heights Show on Education. I'm your host, Buffie Williams. If you like what you've heard, search for us on your smart speaker and listen to us anytime. Thank you for listening. Good night. Until we meet again next Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we discuss next week's topic. Enjoy expanded content from the New Heights Education Group hosts on Blog Talk, iTunes, SoundCloud, Spreaker,